And 3, 2, 1, enter frame. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Ben, and yes, I'm still a big deal around here. We're back the next day for the Peppermint candy experiment. You probably won't see this the day after because I'm filming ahead because when you reach my level of YouTube audience, you gotta film ahead. Okay, and we're back. Yeah, so it's the next day. I'm just kind of curious. And I also see that the mystery concoction that I've put in for the triple deep hive, they've probably eaten, it was probably a 5-6 full yesterday. It's down to about maybe 2-6. It's about a third full. So that's kind of interesting. I'm curious to see what they do with that. The real test will be when I go to harvest honey. I'll do some later this year, obviously. I'm gonna try to talk to the mic because I noticed the other day you couldn't really hear because the fact that you put my hand in front of the thing and it was hard to hear. Gotta work on the audio levels. I gotta get a lapel mic. I don't actually know what a lapel mic is, but I hear other YouTubers talking about it and they sound smart, so in an attempt to be relevant, that's what we're gonna do, ladies and gentlemen. Daggum, that thing is warped. Okay. Well, let's put the mitts on, and without further ado, we're going to do exactly what we did yesterday. We're going to go with the triple deep first, work our way down the line, and we're going to see how it worked. Now, if you'll remember the first hive, the triple deep, we did peppermint candy, 6 of them, 2 in each corner, 1 in the center for a grand total of 6. The next double deep hive, we did 4 cotton swabs, dabbed on both ends with peppermint oil from my wife's essential oil kit that I stole, borrowed, it's both of ours. And then the last one, we did the 6 candies that were wrapped in plastic. And we have the 4th one, which was a control, which wasn't really that bad. So let's get into them and we'll just take a look and see where they're at. I'm kind of curious to see if the bees have eaten the unwrapped candies. And then I'm kind of curious to see what they'll do with the other ones, if they'll propolize them. I'm assuming the Q-tips will be propolized, but they could be thrown out of the hive. Let's get inside and see what happens. Okay, so first things first, the triple deep. As you can see, they've done pretty good at getting through the mystery liquid. It's getting there. I believe it'll be gone by tomorrow. And it's interesting. There's a large number of bees on the front of this one. There always has been. They kind of look like they're vibrating. That's interesting. Let me give it to you from this side. I don't know if they're just doing it to stay warm because it's mildly chilly. It's not cold, but it's chillier than it has been. And I don't see any bees coming out of hive number 4, which makes me... Oh, no, there goes one. Yeah, let's get inside and see what they look like. Goes the initial pop. Same thing, no smoke. We're going to go slow, see if we can do what we did, recreate yesterday's. See what that looks like. Initial look on top, no beetles. As you can see, no beetles on top, but I can't remember if there were beetles on top tomorrow. But they're definitely moving in there. Let's get this inner cover off. Oh, dang. Okay, so they've eaten almost all the candy. So you can see they've torn these up. It is interesting. Most of the beetles are in the front corner away from where the candies were. So there's still beetles, but they're not quite as active. That could be because they just got driven down in the hive. But you can see the bees have really taken a liking to that candy. So we might just keep up with this. There's definitely less than there was. And on this side, you can see they're kind of getting at it. Okay, interesting. Well, I wasn't expecting them to eat it that quick. Let's go to the next hive. Hive number 2, this is the one that had the peppermint oil extract in it. Definitely beetles on top still. That's interesting. And these little, whatever these guys are, I got a couple of those. Those long wormy dudes. Let's actually get inside the hive. Crack it open, make everybody upset. Yep. Okay. Smoke is your friend, apparently. And lift it up. And dang. The Q-tips are nigh effective. they've pretty much ignored them altogether. And there's a wax moth right there. That's nice. In your face. Yeah, son. That's what I thought you said. Okay, so we're batting 0 for 2, a little bit, kind of. We might have to come back with a different tactic on the next one. Maybe I can mix some peppermint oil and some sugar water and spray the hive. Die, beetle. Go, girl. Oops. Now they're mad. Okay, not a lot of beetles. A cockroach. Ooh, he's fast. Good. That's what I'd do. Coward. Okay, I hear the candy. So still beetle mania. Interesting. The candy's proved mostly ineffective. Well, that was disappointing. You know, it's weird. I hear so many people talking about how they use these candies and how they're super effective, and they put them all over the place, and the hive beetles hate the smell of peppermint and blah, 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 blah. And here we are. Maybe I used the wrong oil. You know, it's hard to tell. I'm not sure. I'm assuming maybe the Q-tips, and I mean, it wasn't a proper control group. It wasn't a controlled amount on each end with the exact weighed out measurement on each end of the Q-tips, put equilaterally on all 4 corners, following the cardinal directions to make sure that they were put on there correctly. But it is weird. The beetles definitely had an extreme adverse reaction to peppermint oil. So I'm wondering, I might try this next. Maybe we'll call it the Great Peppermint Oil Experiment. Nice. Way to not be center. That's better. A lot of space between. Anyways, logistical errors. Ooh, I see you, mosquito. I think what we're going to do next is we'll try a diluted amount of peppermint oil. We'll do perhaps a 16-ounce spray bottle of water mixed with a small amount of sugar for the bees, and then we'll do peppermint oil in there. I'm not sure exactly how much, but that'll kind of spray it all over the hive instead of just having a couple of Q-tips that are, oh yeah, got them 100%. Not going to show you because it's gross. I totally got it. Yeah, we'll try it, probably dilute it, put it in a mixture so it'll stick better. It'll be more in the hive. Maybe it'll drive off the beetles more. And if not, maybe we could just put it in the corners, just directly apply the essential oil, because I don't know if the bees are actually affected by it. They just kind of seemed like they ignored it yesterday. They obviously like peppermint candy. That's not a big deal. Maybe I just didn't use enough. I don't know. I remember seeing one gentleman who had a whole bag of them that were still closed, and he had the inner cover, and he actually put them over the whole of the inner cover. But then that doesn't allow your bees a secondary access point into the hive, which is interesting. Well, now you know, if you just use peppermint candy, at least from the gas station down the road from your house, and you live in Georgia, then it won't be enough, and your bees will just eat it, which is a problem. And if you leave them in the wrappers, they won't eat it, but the smell won't be effective enough to drive out small hive beetles. And thirdly, if you use Q-tips and peppermint oil, that isn't strong enough, and maybe it dries up and it's not powerful enough of a deterrent, then it will not drive them out either. But I know when it was fresh, it drove them out. So I'm still gonna pay attention to that. The Great Peppermint Experiment continues, ladies and gentlemen. But hey, this is good stuff, man, because one of the things I've noticed about beekeeping is you see a lot of people saying, well, this is what I'm doing, or this is what I'm trying, or my mentor said this, or I heard this on this guy. But people aren't really doing controlled experimentation. I was about to sneeze. And I think we need more of that. Now, if you can think of different people who have done peppermint experiments and they've been exact in how they do it, if they have a mixture, if they do dilute it, if they do it like a 1-to-1 or a 2-to-1 sugar water concoction, let me know. Put it in the comments down below and I'll try it. And this is actually a really good setup though, because all these hives are about the same. Obviously we have a triple deep, but they're, in terms of variances, they're not varying that much. They're all Italians. So it's the same breed, same genetics, all installed from packages, except for the triple deep, which was an Italian package established the previous year, but it's not much larger. It wasn't taken care of as well as the other ones. And that came from a secondary location, but it's still the same breed, so it shouldn't affect the control groups that much. Interesting. Let me know in the comments down below. I'm gonna go in and ask ChatGPT what he would do. It would do. Does AI have a gender? We'll talk to you next time.